Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Tech with Manny. And in this video, I wanted us to talk about getting your first cloud certification for free. So, this is no BS. I'm actually going to give you a step by step roadmap on how you can get your first cloud certification without paying a cent. So, for those that don't know, my name is Manny, and I'm a DevOps engineer, DevOps slash cloud engineer, with 8 AWS certifications. So I'm not just speaking about something that I don't know. I've actually went through this journey, and I'm just here to help you be able to navigate the journey as well. So certifications play a big part in obviously um, not necessarily showing your capabilities, but at least saying, "Hey, I know what I'm doing. I've actually walked the journey. I've done my research. I've studied for exams. I've written one, and I've managed to pass one." So there's a lot of talk with regards to certification or hands-on practical lab or labs or practical hands-on uh, um, projects, and I mean, both of them play a part. Not to say that the other is more important than the other. In the real life world, obviously, being able to do projects and say, "I've done this task, I've worked through this," it's way much important. But at the same time, for you to get noticed and get out there and say, "I have a clear understanding of what I'm talking about, and I've 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 really went through the theoretical aspects of what cloud is all about." Certifications are a very great guide in doing that. So they help you become very visible to companies, saying, "Hey, I'm a person who's really knowledgeable about what I'm talking about." At the same time, obviously, they give you a very standardized or clear roadmap as to learning about cloud in general. So today I really want to help those that don't know how to take the first step, or maybe they're just struggling financially to book their first exam. So this is a very clear roadmap as to how you can get one of them certifications for yourself. Um, and we're gonna start with talking about what these certifications look like. So with AWS, which is what I basically specialize in, you have your foundational certifications, which is the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner and the AWS Certified AI Practitioner. So these are foundational. This is just AWS basically teaching you the basics of cloud and cloud services, right? And then we go to the associate level. Here they're saying, listen, you're going to learn a bit of architecting. You're going to dive a bit deep into how to combine these services in order to create an infrastructure where applications can actually run. And we're going to teach you how to be able to troubleshoot, be able to develop using our services. So that's what the associate level does. It's very practical as well. There's a lot that you're going to learn, but this is the level that we're going to essentially end on for this video, right? There's more as well. There's the professional level where they expect you to at least have 2 years of experience, of AWS experience, before you can write one of these exams. And then you obviously have specialty, where now you're jumping into a certain specialty, whether it's security, advanced networking, or machine learning. But the two certifications that I want us to talk about are not actually the two certifications, but the two levels that I want us to talk about is the foundational and the associate level, right? So I really want to give you a clear roadmap as to how to get one of these two. And the first platform that I want us to talk about that is helpful in not just getting the certification, but also giving you general knowledge of AWS services. In the five pillars or categories that they offer services in, whether that's compute, networking, security, um, and all the other ones. I forgot what they are, but these certifications give you that clear roadmap as to. Sorry, I was just plugging in my laptop. It was actually battery low, and I didn't notice that. But yeah, let's start with the first platform that I want you to get accustomed to, and it's called AWS Educate. AWS Educate. Um, so AWS Educate is actually AWS service. I mean, it's called AWS Educate for a reason. But this is where essentially you're going to start. So here, what you do is you're going to come in here and you're going to have all these courses, short courses, foundational courses that teach you about AWS. So from storage, compute networking, as I've already mentioned, databases, cloud operations, security, serverless, and so on and so on. You also have artificial intelligence and AI and machine learning. But for now, we're going to focus on these. So once you come to AWS Educate and start doing these courses don't just offer knowledge. You get badges for every course you complete. So that will also help you in kind of building your profile. So you're going to complete a course, you're going to take it to LinkedIn, you're going to have a Credly account where you can put all these badges that you will accumulate um, doing these courses. But for every course that you basically essentially do, or basically essentially do, that you basically do, you open yourself for an opportunity to be part of the emerging talent community. So this is the emerging talent community right here. And what this community allows you to do is that once you become part of it, you then have these daily tasks that you can complete, and in completing these daily tasks you get points, right? So for example, here you can see for welcome to the emerging talent community, um, by just completing this challenge here, I get 100 points, and so on and so on. So you're going to be accumulating these points for every challenge that you get, and then after accumulating that point or those points, you can now redeem these points in order to book yourself an AWS certification. So I'm just trying to show um, a point or a place where you can actually redeem your points. Um, I'm not really sure where that is. I did this actually a couple of years ago, so I'm not. The UI of this application has actually changed a bit. But essentially, for every point that you manage to complete, um, you get an opportunity to basically book yourself an AWS exam. So after maybe accumulating, let's say 2,000 points, you can take those 2,000 points and redeem them for a certification. So there's, as I said, like at the beginning of this video, there's two levels in the certification, which is the uh, foundational and the associate level. So you can book yourself either the foundational and or the associate level certification, and obviously those require different points. Maybe there's more points required to do an associate level than in a foundational. But as you navigate through the AWS Educate and joining the emerging talent community, you're able to kind of see all that information from there. So that's the first part of being able to do your certification. You go to AWS Educate, you start with the foundational courses, you accumulate these badges, and then after accumulating a couple of badges, you're gonna get invited to the emerging talent community. In that emerging talent community, you will have daily tasks or weekly tasks to complete. And in completing those, you accumulate points. And in accumulating those points, you get a chance to redeem them for an AWS certification, which is 100% off, right? So that's the first step of being able to get your AWS certification. AWS Educate courses there. Um, get invited to the emerging talent community. And then after that, you complete tasks in order to redeem or get points. And after getting those points, you can redeem them to do your first AWS certification. So that's how it works, right? So now, after you've done that, the next part is obviously preparing for your exam. So these courses here are foundational. So they are good enough to at least let you know what 30% of the exam might require. But they are not exam readiness courses. So they're not going to really get you ready for the exam. So there's a lot of paid courses that you can find in platforms like Udemy, Tutorial, Dojo, and so on and so on. But remember, the title of the video is for you to be able to do the cloud certification totally for free. So we're not going to be trying to, we don't want to go to those platforms because we have to pay for it. So the next platform in order to prepare for our AWS exam is called AWS Skill Builder. So AWS Skill Builder is where you're going to have courses, not similar to the ones that you have in AWS Educate. These ones are a bit more detailed. And as well, here you get to accumulate badges and certifications that you can kind of use and boost to boost your resume. But it's a bit more advanced compared to the AWS Educate. And it also offers subscription plans, but the subscription plans, it's more so great if you're trying to do hands-on labs, right? So you're gonna come to AWS Skill Builder, and you have different learning paths as you can see here. So, for example, if you're planning on doing like a solutions architect associate exam, you can come here and click solutions architect, and then it gives you courses that relate to that solutions architect journey. So you can come here and see AWS solutions learning plan, and it also includes labs. It's 65 hours. So this, you might find it's an accumulation of all the courses that are just here, and they put them in one. So you can just navigate. You don't have to struggle navigating. But essentially, when you come here, you get to do labs, you get to do courses, and you can come here and say, okay, my skill level is fundamental. Uh, I want to access the free tier. So they give you all the free courses that you might need. Uh, and some of these courses that you're going to find here, they are exams. They also cover AWS exams, and they're free. So I'm just trying to navigate and find one that actually covers the AWS exam. I see that there's none that's free, but there is actually one. I saw it earlier. I saw it earlier. Hmm. Yeah, you're gonna have to navigate that. I saw it earlier, but you can say exam. Let's see what comes up. So yeah, you can see here, if maybe we're trying to do our AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, you get this exam prep overview, and you basically go through a couple of question papers, or not a couple of question papers, but a couple of questions that relate to that exam. Um, and there's more, as you see. There's exam prep plan overviews for almost all the certifications that you might need. And there's actually an official exam prep, but this as you can see, you need to have subscribed in order to get these ones, and that's not what we're looking for. But you will get options to be able to see how the exam looks like, and they'll give you maybe 20 questions that are from the exam or that mimic the exam level questions, basically. So that's what Skill Builder does. It allows you to prepare for your exam, and you also get courses where you can advance your knowledge. So if you're learning about uh, scaling applications, deploying high availability by multi availability zones, this is stuff you're going to learn as you study for your exam. You get to see it here. And then after doing that, you are now ready to kind of start with your exam. Um, so what's next? This final one, it's such a cliche, but it's more so based off YouTube, right? So let me just give you an example of what I mean. If you go to my YouTube, you'll find a lot of things here um, that don't relate to the exam itself, but I just want to show you off just my subscriptions, for example. Um, if you see manage my subscriptions, this is something that I did actually in the beginning, right? If you go to my subscriptions, many of the stuff that I or many of the people that I kind of subscribe to, it relates to tech. Obviously, there's other things that I'm interested in, like basketball, fighting, and whatnot. But a lot of these things relate to tech. So many of the influencers that I follow are tech related, like a life engineer, there's a tech guy. Um, network next work sorry it's tech, Dubai into tech, so on and so on. But many of the people that I follow here, they're tech people. So I think that's a big part of what you're going to do next, which is essentially just creating an ecosystem where you find people who have kind of like this, or who have walked the journey, and you're kind of trying to become like them. So they mentor you through their programs or through their content that they post, right? So creating that ecosystem also helps with a lot of distractions. So if you go to YouTube and you've subscribed, now you don't easily get distracted, because the first thing that pops up, it's not a video relating to some blog that has nothing to do with your journey. You get to kind of see these people who have already walked the journey. Maybe they have tutorials that you can watch for 10, 15 minutes, and so on and so on. But that's one thing that I actually did. I actually unsubscribed to everyone initially when I started my tech journey. I unsubscribed to everyone that you can think of that I was following or that I subscribed to. And I literally subscribed to everyone who was relating to tech, whether it's tech news related, Y Combinators, tech with whoever. And those are all the people that I subscribe to. So I think that's the third part that I really want you to focus on. And there's also people that you're going to find in YouTube that are actually creating cloud content that you can watch. And I think that it's the best learning platform. YouTube is kind of like the best learning platform. It's just that obviously we use it for different stuff, but it's one of the best learning platforms that you can find, because you get to see these people posting content relating to what you want to do and what you want to learn. At the same time, you can comment, you can subscribe and get alerts if ever they release a video, and so on and so on. So those are the three steps of being able to get your cloud certification. I say the first one, go to AWS Educate, do a couple of courses. You will get invited into your emerging talent community, where you'll be doing daily challenges. And in those daily challenges, you accumulate points that you can later use to redeem in order to get your foundational or associate level certification. And then after that, obviously, to prepare, as I've mentioned, you go to AWS Skill Builder, where you will get more courses that you can use to learn and prepare for your exam, including exam practice questions. Uh, and from that, then you can book or use your voucher that you would have gotten from redeeming your points to book your first exam. And I'm sure you can navigate on how to book your first exam. But those are the three steps that I really wanted you to talk about. What that I actually wanted to talk about. And I think they will get you through the door in getting your first cloud certification for free that you can use to boost your resume. So yeah, that's it for me. Um, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Whoever wants to get into tech, they can always come and see this video, and at least they'll have a direction of how to get into cloud engineering or how to get your first cloud certification. So that's it on my side. See you in the next video.